A missile suddenly slammed into a field, and everyone dove to the ground. Seeing that the missile wasn't reacting, a villager carefully lifted a scarecrow and gave the missile a light tap. The witnesses were left speechless. They saw Mike carefully tapping the missile's guidance system. Suddenly, Jacques slammed the missile with all his strength, catching everyone off guard. The officer watching the scene broke into a cold sweat the moment he confirmed the missile wasn't going to blow. The neighborhood kids instantly found their way back in. This drew more and more onlookers, all joining forces to lift the missile and set it gently on the ground. At that moment, a villager urged the officer to get back on his feet, which sparked a wave of excitement. Against all odds, the villagers brought out a scale to weigh it. A Japanese man who was there suggested sending the missile to headquarters, claiming they might get a reward. But to keep it from being stolen, the villagers carried it straight into a house. Realizing that storing it indoors was risky, they agreed to set it down on a pile of straw. After talking it over, the officer decided to give Mike the reward early the next morning. They loaded the missile onto a cart, but before heading out, Plagent insisted on giving the missile another inspection. Then, under the agent's direction, they all pushed together the missile loaded onto the rickshaw. The villagers, seeing it leave, stepped forward to say goodbye. They watched the convoy fade into the distance, afraid that here it suddenly blows up. Jacques deliberately doused the launcher because the heat was stifling. He figured that if people couldn't handle it, the missile wouldn't be able to either. A villager suggested to the officer that he take off his shirt to give the missile some shade and cool it down. That way, it would stay cool and be protected. But that's when the officer suddenly ran into a funeral procession. When the priest from the tower spotted the missile in front of him, he immediately told the people behind to step back. But that made the wooden bridge shake violently under the eggs. The next second, the cartwheel fell into the river. To keep the missile from falling, they wedged it in place with sticks. When the officer spotted the stone steps ahead of him, he instantly realized this road led straight to the barracks. Shortly after, he arrived. These missiles were moved to another village, instantly catching the attention of the locals. When the officer spotted a photo studio, he decided right then and there to take a souvenir picture. Who would have thought this one was anything but small?